I can't stand no male-centered woman. I'm trying to talk to the men to get the men in order. And here come yo behind trying to save the dude. For what? For what? And then you advocating for a group of men that ain't even marrying you. You on the panel going hard for these black men with these microphones that I'm trying to address with the harmful things that they say. Yet you on the panel with them and you still single, woman. You still single. That don't make any sense. But yet, not my black men this, and my black men that, and my black men this, and my black... And you ain't got not one black man. Now make that shit make sense, bro. But yet, I'm trying to address them on the things that they saying, and you keep calling them kings. And they not acting like one. They're not treating you like no queen or nothing like that. But because you repeat the same talking points as them, they champion you. But they won't even marry you. Not one of them men on them panel have decided to put a ring on your goddamn finger. Not one. But here you go advocating for a group of men who don't care about you, bro. I'm over here trying to address men from a systemic level to a religious level to statistics and everything, trying to get us to be better men. And no, see, now, shut up. Shut up. And that's why stuff ain't gonna get accomplished, because when a man is actually trying to check a goddamn man on the things he's saying, here come a woman that want to come in and save the dude. How are we supposed to get our job done when it's some of, like on a panel, some of you women want to advocate for the men, but yet they wouldn't even defend your behind. And that's what I'm calling out. Can't call out the toxic rhetoric. He controversial shit. He just said such bad things about men all the time. That's not every black. I never said it was every black man. Are the men over there saying every black woman? Or are they making general statements? Can I not address men as a man? I thought that's what we were supposed to do. But no. Them dudes gonna them problematic men are going to champion those pick-me / male-centered women. But yet they still won't marry you. And here you go looking stupid, advocating for men who won't even marry you. But they love you though. But we kings. But we the best thing on earth. Not my black man. Not all black men, but the way your black man.
Let's be for real. Guys actually really don't like the pick-me's. From what
Let's talk about it, ladies, because she's correct. Guys don't like the pick-me girls. I mean, they like having them around because they know they're going to do anything that they say because they want to be chosen, but they're not going to pick them either. Like the girls that you think, oh, they're going to fall for them because they're pick-me. No, they just use them, and then once they done using them, they come get you, and then they use y'all too, and then once they done with y'all, they go get with somebody else. Like the pick-me girls are only there to satisfy all the things that you're not doing. But if they can get you to do what the pick-me girls are doing, they'll drop the pick-me girls in a heartbeat. It's kind of like when you were young and it was like you wanted a certain type of ice cream when you went to the ice cream store. But if you couldn't get that one, you just settled for another one because it was the second best ice cream, which that's not really what you wanted. Those what dudes think about when they think about pick-me's. You are the second best ice cream, but I'm going to accept you because I know I can get what I want from you. So I'm not going to listen.
There's a reason why a lot of men don't go for the pick-me pixies, and I don't think the pick-me pixies understand. Like, a lot of y'all don't excite these men. A lot of y'all are plain, basic, and boring. And I know that that's like y'all's thing, because like you're supposed to like make yourself not look like the other girls. You're supposed to like not wear a bunch of makeup or, you know, try to look different than like the blank slate that white men want you to be. Blank slate for them to project their own ideas of what they think a woman should be. Wow, this came out, that came out. That's a little suggestive there. And I wouldn't put that past them. But you're just supposed to be like this blank slate for these men to project their idea of what an ideal woman is supposed to be onto. The thing is, and there are some pick-me pixies that do get picked. Like, don't get me wrong. There are quite a few of them that do get picked. But for the ones that, like, don't understand why it's still so hard for them to, like, find a decent dude or find a dude that wants them, you gotta understand, they don't want you. They don't. These dudes don't want the trad wife. They want the goth, scene, alt, feminist, trad wife. And they want this because to them, it's going to look like the ultimate hallmark for their masculinity, that they tamed this wild, savage woman, that they're so great and golden of a guy that they were actually able to succeed in doing the unthinkable, subjugating and pushing the wild feminist woman into the kitchen where they think she belongs.
You're not the extra. Okay, a provider ghosted you and you ignored him and stayed unbothered. He came back and obsessed. Why are men like this? Because they always want what they can't have. Haven't y'all figured it out by now? Because I keep trying to tell y'all, if men don't like pick-me-shas unless they need free shelter. That's the only reason that they will want to be around. And yes, unless they can use a pick-me-sha. Okay, thank you.
You can't be mad that the chick that you want because of what she looks like doesn't want you. You only want her for what she looks like anyways. She doesn't have the other qualities that you're looking for. Leave her alone.
I don't know that. I want, I like what I see. I want to hear and get to know her better.
But sweetheart, they're talking to the women that are saying they're not going to cook. Leave them alone.
No, well, they find out she's not going to cook after they speak to them.
Okay, and then you're like, okay, then leave her alone. That's what I'm saying. There's somebody for everybody. The chick that doesn't want to cook, leave her alone.
But how many men, other than chefs, don't want a woman who's nurturing and wants to cook for them and cater to them? How many men don't want this?
I don't know the answer to that. I would imagine that most men do want that.
Right. There are things that women want. Mm-hmm. We know what they are.
And they might not get it. They might get it. They might not. Men can say what they want. They might get it. They might not. It's the same thing. Because when we're talking about Black people, let's just be honest here. How many Black men do you think can afford to be the primary provider, financial provider, and put their wife and their children in a good neighborhood with good schools? How many do you think on their own salary? How many do you think can do that?
And this is the reason why I pity pick-me women and male-centered women. Because they will never be picked. Even if they're picked, they're used. You see, men want women who don't want them. Men want women who don't like them. Did you pay attention to the video I just played? Oh, I like her, I'm attracted to her. So even if the woman says that she doesn't cook, oh, let me get to know her. Because in a man's mind, he can convince a woman he's sexually attracted to become a cook even if she doesn't like cooking. These are the same men. Oh, as for me, I like natural women. I don't like weaves. I don't like wigs. I don't like makeup. I don't like eyelashes. I don't like fake nails. But guess what? These same men are chasing the same women they claim they don't like. Go and look at the women they follow on social media. Women who wear thick makeup, who wear wigs, weaves, eyelashes. These are the same women that they are in their comment section calling beautiful and all sorts of things, but they claim they don't like women who wear weaves and wigs and makeup. Oh, as for me, I like a natural woman. There are so many natural women, but they don't like the natural women. Because most men, they think with their penis. They think with their private part. They don't think about what is in their best interest and what they claim they like. They are always going after women who don't like them, who don't want them, because of their delusional perspective that they are able to change her simply because they find her sexually attractive. And this is why pick-me women are funny to me. Because no matter how much you try to be men's preference, they will never choose you. Even if they choose you and they marry you, they desire the opposite version. They desire the woman that is not a pick-me. My name is Dr. Zita. I am a sociologist. Keep believing men at your own risk. If you're not following, guess what? Hit the follow button.
What's your favorite genre of women that would surprise people?
Difficult woman.
Ooh, difficult women.
Difficult woman.
You love her just hard-head?
Hard-head, bro. Stubborn.
Can't talk to her.
Can't talk to her. Doesn't listen.
Oh, I love a girl that doesn't listen.
If you've ever wondered why pick-me women don't get picked, this is exactly why. Because men actually don't like women who are that accommodating. They like women who stand up for themselves, who are stubborn. That's why these conservative men who are always talking about how they want traditional women, who will just cook and clean and be quiet, are always going after liberal women who are opinionated and independent, because that's what they actually like. Men who are always talking about how they need to be the leader and how they need a woman to submit and submission, when they're always talking about that because they only know how to be strong when you're being weak. It doesn't come natural to them. That's why they're always complaining that they want women to be more feminine, is because without that, they don't know how to be masculine. Only weak men look for a woman they can dominate and control. A good man understands that he needs a strong woman by his side because there may be a time where he's weak. What if he loses his job, loses a parent, suddenly has health issues? He'll need to lean on someone, and that's why he needs a strong woman by his side. A strong woman isn't a liability, she's an asset. But you'll have to be secure enough in your own strength to appreciate hers.
Can someone explain to me why the Pickme girls aren't like just naturally falling into the arms of these like whatever type podcast guys, like the guy?
They don't actually want these women. They talk all this rhetoric for their podcasts, but these kind of men actually want independent, strong-minded women. Not so they can actually better their life. No, because they want to break them down. You have to really watch these guys' movements and how they actually respond to women. These men don't want to better or help women. They want to diminish them, devalue them. They want to break them down. They want these women to submit so they can humiliate these women. In my opinion, a lot of these guys have been rejected, maybe rejected by their own mothers, but they have been rejected or hurt at some point, and now they want revenge and they want to dish out pain towards women. You really got to understand, a man that wants to do right by a woman or wants to do right by his woman or women in general, he will always lead and guide to the right answer. These men try to force you to their side and kind of break your ideology down. And now you can say, oh, they just want to break delusional women. You know what? Yes, you can break down a delusional person, but you do not have to humiliate them. They try to humiliate in the process. Talking about their body count, how many people they slept with, what their education level, and this is that, and blah, 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 blah. All in all, it's about power and humiliation. And so the moment that they actually get with a strong woman, and maybe they finally do break this person down, they can then say, I have power over you. They don't want to coexist with somebody. They want power over somebody. Because at the end of the day, that will make them feel strong. That will actually make them feel like an alpha male. Like they, quote unquote, says. This, they don't understand that actually leading and guiding and protecting, that what really makes an alpha male. Their version of an alpha male is somebody who's able to dominate the next person. Stay safe out there.
Do you know why Pearl is available? Because even though she says the right things that men resonate with, she's masculine. Feminine women do not go online and sit on podcasts and argue with men all day long. Why not pick her? Because we couldn't marry someone that's like that and argumentative and fighting.
Imagine being the biggest female voice of the red pill movement. You say things like women shouldn't be allowed to divorce their husbands, that men should demand a DNA test at the delivery of their children. You say things like women shouldn't be allowed to vote. You say things like you shouldn't believe all assault victims. You do everything that you can to throw women under the bus for the sake of looking good in front of men, and those men go online and say stuff like this. My theory on why pick-me women rarely get picked is because they don't present themselves to be much of a challenge. A man likes to feel like he's changing a woman's mind, like he's talked her into something. And if the woman's already coming in saying, I'm submissive to you, you're better than me and all that, it's not as much fun. They'd rather take a woman who is independent and try to make that woman submissive. They'd rather take a woman who is clearly materialistic and make that woman split bills with them. But they need somebody like her so they can be able to say, no, it's not just us. Look at this woman right here. She agrees with us. I heard somebody say once that men want a woman they can subjugate, but Pearl subjugates herself. And that's the truest thing I've ever heard.
I was actually literally gonna make a video on this today, so you kind of read my mind. But pick me girls, they're the worst. Like, we could read them as well as you could read them. It's blatantly obvious when there's a pick me girl. They're all about me, 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 me. They kind of bring the energy of the room down because they're so self-centered. It's because they're insecure. Their insecurities are driving them to be pick me because probably growing up they didn't have a lot of male attention. They might have not had a dad in the picture. It's very psychological. There's a reason for it. I recently dealt with a pick me girl. I'm not gonna say who they were, but it was very annoying. We could all tell it was a group of us. Everyone just was like, this girl is just so annoying. She was trying way too hard to, I don't know, be cool in this group, and it's just be yourself. All you have to do is just be yourself, and if people like you for yourself, that's great. Don't try to be someone you're not. That goes for like any life situation. Just be yourself. But to answer your question, it's super obvious when someone's a pick me girl. Like, it's so easy to pick up on. I feel like girls don't realize that guys can pick up on it too. So just be yourself. That's the most attractive thing.
They're settling for them. They're using them for whatever they're going to give them. And they're not really that much into them. Those women are working in order to keep that man. That man is not working in order to keep them women. Therefore, he understands that those women don't know their value. They don't have much value because they're sitting there giving over half the money to be in the presence of a man. But the woman that doesn't do that, the woman that loves herself too much, the woman that is obsessed with herself, demands high standards, and for a man to do A, B, C, and D, that's what he wants.
I saw this guy talking about his experience with pick-me girls and how as soon as a guy picks up on it, it's so embarrassing and obvious to see. It reminded me of my own experience I had with a pick-me girl, and it is bad. Like, it's so toxic. For context, this happened at a girl's house party, and the pick-me girl at the time liked me, but I didn't know it. I get there, me and my brother, we just kind of walk around, I'm talking to everybody, but then I ended up chatting it up with this girl, we'll call her Riri. When I tell you Riri was bad, she was bad. And the conversation flowed so nicely. I felt like I didn't have to try too hard to just go back and forth in conversation. Amazing. Then, mid-conversation, pick-me girl shouts my name and starts marching over to me. Again, I wasn't really too keen on what was going on. I just got there, so maybe she was just trying to greet me. Pull out a side hug. This little side hug method right here. She goes, frick that, and does a full frontal hug. Now, you know when you side hug about somebody and they go for a full hug and it's that little awkward stage? Well, she's wrapping her hands like these behind my back. You know what I mean? Like that, I'm like, yo. Anyway, she gets off and then she's like, oh, you know, how was the drive? How was this? All, you know, just idle conversation. I'm like, oh, it was good, you know, whatever. And, you know, Riri, she looking like. So after pick me skedaddles, me and Riri start talking again. And shortly after that, someone starts a Uno game. Now, if you know how Uno gets, how I get down, it's no game. So me and Riri go, sit at the table. It's about 8, 9 people there. And me and Riri are sitting next to each other. So we're still chatting while the game's going on. Pick me girl is across the table. And every time me and Riri would start laughing at something, she'd be like, what's the joke? What's the joke? But again, I still know what's going on. I have FOMO, so I'm kind of like, you know, talking to her too, but now I'm trying to talk to Riri like more. So then I start shifting my full focus at Riri, and pick me girl's not having none of that. She gets up, beelines like she's getting a drink, and then sits down right next to me. A dude was already sitting there. He comes back from the restroom like, that's my seat. And she goes, sit over there. And the dude is listening. I'm like, all right then. So I'm basically like, you know, and I'm talking about the Riri again. And again, she's not having none of it. Your girl goes, so, talking to Riri now, and goes, oh my gosh, I saw you guys were like talking about stories. Do you remember when you like got so drunk you threw up all over the place? Oh my God, that was so funny. Oh, I'm so sorry. Now, at this point, I know what's going on. I'm like, oh, dang, that's dirty. But I look at Riri, and she is white to the face. So I'm like, is this not just like a club drunk story? Like, what happened? Pick me is Kiki cawing. Riri's about to cook a cry, and I'm sitting there like, what am I supposed to do? So Riri gets up and leaves, not the party, but just outside to kind of compose herself. And I'm gonna go outside and make sure that she's okay. And Pick me's like, oh, the game's still going on. The game's still going on. I'm like, I don't care about the game. What was that for? And then she's like, oh, it was just a joke. I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so I go outside to make sure Riri's okay. And she got her hands in her face. She's crying. I'm like, what's wrong? I'm trying to like reassure her that you're okay. We all have crazy stories, okay? I'm no one to judge. And then Riri goes, that's not it. She's talking about the story about when my dad died and I drank so much that I threw up because I was depressed. This story is not the only one, but it's the one that comes up in my brain when it comes to pick me girls. Expose a very personal and intimate moment in a girl's life just so you can get high ground. That's ridiculous. Pick me girls suck.
I think the men will agree with me on this one. There is nothing more unattractive, more unappealing, more icky than a girl that speaks like a boy. You see, when a girl speaks like mandem, yeah, every ounce of attractiveness just goes out the window. Babe, I want a girl that's feminine. I do not want to date a boy. I don't want, next to me, I don't want to wake up and there's a whole dude saying, yo, Wagwan, what are you saying? Because at that point, who wears the pants of the relationship? Who? It vexes me so much. It pisses me off when girls talk like boys. Why do you not want to be feminine? Where are all the feminine girls? Like, why do you want to be a boy so bad? It don't make sense. I'm trying to chat to you. I'm trying to move to you. I don't want to be your friend. So why the fuck is bruv? Why are you saying bruv? It don't make sense, bruv. Your lips are even swollen now. The way you're saying bruv, it looks like you've got lip fillers. See, when a girl's done that, like she speaks like that, I just look at you like this. I'm telling you, get the fuck out. I'm not putting up with that shit.
She's such a pick-me. Y'all have ran this term into the ground. The Wizard Liz is not a pick-me. Like, to my understanding, a pick-me was a woman who did things performatively so she would get picked by men. Her getting back with a dude who cheated on her, that's not her being a pick-me, that's just her liking him, for better or for worse. Like, there's so many men who hate the Wizard Liz, and she knows that, and she doesn't care. Like, I feel like some of you think unless a woman's traumatizing every man they come across in their personal life, that there's some sort of pick-me. It's very personal, because I remember y'all called my ex a pick-me, which I don't like because that was very, like, insulting to me. Like, you think I can only, like, bag a pick-me or something? Like, I need you to understand, my ex got kicked out of multiple clubs because she punched men in the face. My ex had never paid for a date until I came along. She was just into me, okay? Because I'm a little bit charming, and I'm handsome, and I'm tall, and I have such a high level of ambition that's very attractive, and I have a very good smile, and I'm very supportive and nurturing in a way that people don't usually expect from a man. I'm a sweetie pie, okay? It's like, I feel like nowadays, it's like pick me used to mean what it meant, but now it's just like, oh my gosh, this woman, she did something I don't like, pick me. It's become like the woman version of incel. And it's crazy because I've actually met pick me's, you know, women who are like, oh my gosh, like these other women, like I just don't know what's wrong with them. Legitimately, like that's how they talk. They're like, gosh, like I can't believe she would blah, 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 blah. Like talking down on other women, absolutely. Like that's a pick me, bro. But all the other stuff y'all be talking about, half the time, bro, it's a woman just liking a man, which is crazy to me. So it's like, don't play with me like that, okay? I don't date pick me's, okay? They terrorize men before I come along. And then they terrorize me too, but in a different way, you know, like that, you know, that was like there was like essay involved, like, yeah. Or they're just like really annoying and they're always like pestering me about like, oh my gosh, you know, like the whole black cat golden retriever thing. Now, mind you, I feel like I could be like a golden retriever. Like, I feel like I have that energy in me, but it's like when I get into like these like really like long-term relationships with people, it's like they become like the golden retriever, but like one with like rabies and they're like barking. They're like, pay attention to me, pay attention. I'm just like the black cat on the windowsill, like, leave me alone. But you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, yeah, bro. Let's cool it with that pick me term.
These men are looking at women and saying, you gifted, you smart, you beautiful, you sexy, you could get any body you want, you could get the lashes you want, you could get the hair you want, you could get the skin you want, you could get the job you want. You got natural industries like cosmetics and things of that nature to where you can make six figures because of being a woman. You got certain concessions. You got grants out here for you, woman-owned business, minority-owned business, minority woman-owned business. You got these different funds for women-owned businesses. You make more than me. You can make more than me in your sleep. I got to use my hands to earn. When I use my mind to earn, I'm not that good at it. So I cannot control you because not only do you not need to cook for me and clean for me because you're not a chef or a maid, but you can actually pay for a chef or a maid if you really wanted to. And because I'm working with my hands or I'm bumping my gums on a podcast, I'm not really all the way in that position. So now I can't control you. I can't tell you what to do because you actually work harder than me and you make more money than me. You got more going than me. So really, I need to be cooking for you and folding your clothes and changing the baby diapers. And I need to be the CEO of home instead of you being the CEO of home because you actually the CEO of your own business. That's why these men butt hurt today. That's why they butt hurt today. And that's why they butt is actually hurting literally. They going to men now and they getting power drive in the rectum by other men because they so upset and mad with women. They so just out of order and just disillusioned by women that they sit and they talk bad about women so much with other men that they start to fall in love with these men on the podcast with them. They start to fall in love with the chest and the back muscles and the conversation skills of these men that they sitting there bashing women about, and they forgetting they call in the world. They forgetting that if you man enough, it don't matter what a woman make and what she do, she's still gonna respect you as a man if you man enough. And so guys is coming and they saying like, oh, these women disrespectful, these women this and that. And it's really like, these certain women, they saying, hey, you got to pay the piper. Like, you're not finna come and try to cheat and be cheating on me and disrespecting me and thinking you finna run me like no slave when I'm out here getting it. I got my freedom now, Kunta. I ain't up under your thumb. But see, what happened is we come from a time to where we had women under our thumb. We was able to beat on women. We was able to cheat on women. We was able to spit in a woman's face. We was able to cuss a woman out. We were able to take all our pain out on a woman, our mama, our grandma, our auntie, and then our girlfriend, then our wife. We was able to just dog a woman out. A woman got to deal with all our trauma. She got to deal with all our tears. She got to deal with all our anger. She got to deal with all our frustration. She got to deal with all our failure. She got to deal with everything. And then when we get success, we then go get a woman that we could never get.
Pick-me girls are the ones who downplay other women just to get male approval. They'll say things like, I'm not like other girls, or I don't hang with women, they're too much drama, as if being different somehow makes them superior. But here's the twist. A lot of men actually hate pick-me behavior. Why? Because it screams insecurity. Instead of looking confident or desirable, it comes across as desperate. Most men can tell when a woman is trying too hard to get attention by putting other women down, and it's not attractive. The irony is, pick-me girls think they're separating themselves from the competition, but in reality, they're just showing men they don't respect themselves or other women. And men don't take them seriously. They might laugh, they might entertain it for the moment, but deep down they know it's fake. At the end of the day, men respect women who stand firm in who they are, not ones who beg for validation by throwing everyone else under the bus.